Hey everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It is a Monday morning, way early. I don't know if I can do this. If you're here, please let me know. I'm going to kind of keep watching for you. Got to wait for the devices to load up. But yeah, I'm here. 10 o'clock on a Monday morning in the summer. After a Sunday, Mondays are hard for me to get up. Obviously, for everybody, right? Mondays are not the favorite day in anywhere in the world, right? I don't know. Sundays you get so relaxed and maybe you rest a little more than you need to. So you don't sleep well Sunday night. So Monday morning, it's Monday. But it's Project on the 10's. What could be better than that, right? All right, I'm still not here. I'm waiting to be here. If you're here, let me know you're here because I'm not. Oh, Karen Ross is here from Arizona, and I have many others watching. I can see that there's others watching, but I can't tell who you are. So please come on and tell me you're here. Just say anything. I just checked. Our temperature is already 84. It's going to get up to 91. It's going to be blustery and windy today. Don't we love the apps that we have? Hey, Betty from Alabama, from a hot Alabama. There's a big difference there. And good morning, Elaine and Rosemarie. Good morning to you. And Janet, good morning from Orlando. Okay, I'm in my beautiful mountain valley in Utah, and it's really pretty outside. I was out early this morning, and it was so nice outside. I wish it could kind of stay that way all day. It was so nice, quiet. The air is clean, it's warm, but it's clean. It's just a nice feeling. Don't you love it when you get up in the morning and everything is clean? There's just something about it. All right, so I can still see lots of you watching, but you haven't said anything. So please do me a favor. Please say something. Erla Faye, good morning to you. I haven't seen you in a long time. A long, long time. And Sheila is in Blue Springs, Missouri. I haven't been there. Guess I'm going to have to go. I like Missouri. Yep, it's so green and beautiful. It really is. And we're really dry right now. So any green that we have is because we put water on it. It's not green on its own. But it's still pretty. It's still very pretty. And how are my ladies doing? Well, I'll tell you. Gus is still hanging in there. I feel so bad for her. Did I tell you I think she's maybe blind? At first I thought maybe she didn't have all of her faculties because she wasn't responding like I thought chickens should. And she follows the other chickens, but she doesn't go after the food because I just don't think she can. I think she's going blind. So I'll go out there, and as soon as I open the door from the garage towards the coop, they come running because they know I'm going to be there. And they know exactly the routine. I give them their water, and then they run around to the gate because they want to see me at the gate. They want food. It's not me. They want food. And she kind of holds back, and she has always been very friendly with me, very friendly. She'll just sit on my lap, and she'll sit there. But the other day, I was sitting in the chicken run, and Jane had already jumped up on my lap, so I had Jane on my lap, and darn it all, if Gus didn't jump up on top of Jane. There was room over here, but she jumped right on top of Jane. So I don't think she sees very well. And when I walk out there and I'm standing at their fence, all the chickens will run to me because they know that I give them things, right? And Jane will run because the other chickens run. And sometimes I'll just sit in my chair out there, and I'm on the outside of the fence, and I'll be sitting there, and if I talk to her, the other chickens will lose interest and they'll kind of start wandering around. And so I'll call Jane and I'll call her, and she'll follow my voice, but she doesn't quite know where she's going. I'll even hold out food for her and she doesn't peck at it. I don't know. So if you're a chicken owner, is she having her last wonderful summer? I hate to see my ladies die. Hate it, hate it. Kathy from South Carolina, welcome. And Dottie from Albuquerque, I'm glad that you're here. We even have some friends in Australia and England, but of course this is not a good time for them. So and we have many in Canada, so we have kind of friends all over the world. And I tell you, I got something up my sleeve. I'm not going to tell you about it yet because I haven't been able to pick a day, but I got something up my sleeve, and we are going to share things from everyone, and I'm excited to do that. All right, I do have a fun fact for you this morning. And it's nothing to do with sewing, but I thought this was really interesting because I think we need to look at life. And I'm always talking about, I'll look in the mirror and say, you're so beautiful today. What great things are you going to do, right? I mean, that's kind of, I like to think positive, and I like to have fun things that you think about in your brain that make you do good things. That's kind of what I like. Hey, Shelly from Truckee, California. Happy to have you here. Hi, Michelle. I have a question for you, Michelle. I'll have to call you later. Okay, here, and this is a little bit long, but I'm going to read it to you, but I think it's really that good. And maybe you've seen it. If milk goes bad, it becomes yogurt. If it goes bad again, they turn it into cheese. Each stage is more valuable than the last. And when grape juice sours, it transforms into wine. Not a failure, but a refinement. Are you with me still? Mistakes aren't the end, they're transformation in motion. Christopher Columbus made a navigation error and stumbled upon a continent. Alexander Fleming forgot to clean a petri dish and discovered penicillin, saving millions of lives. So you are not broken because you've made a mistake. You are becoming. Each misstep, each lesson, each wrong turn is part of the journey that shapes you into something wiser. You're deeper, more resilient. Don't be afraid of your mistakes. Learn from them, grow from them. Let them rise your value, not your doubt. Because it's not perfection that shapes greatness, it's persistence. So it's not perfection that shapes greatness, it's persistence. All right, you got that? I may post that later on. I thought that was so good because how often do we say, oh, I blew it. I can't go any further. Or I can't do that because I made a mistake. Not true. In the sewing world, do we make mistakes? We have that wonderful, I don't have one right here in front of me, seam ripper. We got our best friend. So if you make a mistake, we just make it better, right? Right. That's how I feel about it. All right, Michelle, yep, I'll call you. Okay, Linda is from Fruitland, Idaho, 70 degrees right now. Wow. Hey, Erla Faye, I will post that. I will post that later on today. I thought it was so good because even as children, as they're learning how to walk, what do? They fall down, but they get back up. They don't even think twice. They get back up and they're learning to ride that bike. I mean, when you were riding your bike, how many times did you hit that bar or scratch your knee or tip over or something? Did you quit? Did you give up? No. It made us better. It made us stronger. And we learn from the things that we do. And it's so nice when we can learn from somebody else's mistakes and not always have to do all the mistakes on our own. But really, the ones that we make on our own, we are not going to forget. Hi, Linda. So yes, Erla Faye, I will post that later because I thought it was really good. Okay, should we get down to business? Yep, I've taken your time already. And if you've noticed, I've been posting quite a few things on the YouTube channel, things that we have talked about in the past. Project on the 10's from some time ago. I mean, I've got 4 years of Project on the 10's that I've been trying to post so that you can view them and other people can view them. So check it out. It's on the YouTube channel. And later today also, I will repost my other Facebook page. I have this one's a group. So this is where people are invited in or they have to be accepted to come in. And this is where we do Project on the 10's. And we do that on the 10th, the 20th, and the 30th of the month. It's at 10 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time. I do a project with you, show you a project that takes about 10 minutes to do. And then I'll oftentimes give you a pattern with it. Today's has a pattern. Not always is there a pattern because it's just pretty simple. You don't really need a pattern for it. And it takes about 10 minutes. But we have fun, right? And you can learn from it. And I want you to make them. I think they're fun. And then every single morning I will post a machine tip or a tutorial, a small technique tip or something to do with sewing so that we can all learn something new. And not always is it something that you don't know about. Maybe it's something you haven't used in a while and you think, oh, that's right, I have the ability to do that. My machine will do that. I just don't do it. So you forget about it, right? And it's just a little reminder of some things that you can do. And on Wednesdays at 4, we do a buddy chat. And this is where I want you to chime in with your questions, with your comments, with whatever you're doing, because this is the time we get to talk back and forth. And I like that. That's one of my favorite things to do. Hi, Annette and Linda. Did I say hi to you? I can still see there are people that are refusing to say anything. Don't be shy. Nobody's going to come after you, and it's not going to hurt. Just say hi. What is the name of your YouTube channel? It is just Barb Lewis. I will post that later today. I'll post a link for it, okay? Because, yeah, it's not Sew with Barb. It's not Barb Sewing Buddies. It is Barb Lewis. So I made it years and years and years ago, so I've just kind of stayed with it. And I have a few videos on there, some that you've already watched, some maybe you haven't seen before. So go on in, check it out, bring your friends, invite everybody, and subscribe to it. If you subscribe to it, then it brings it forward more often. I don't know. I don't get all that stuff. I just do what they tell me. That's all I can say. All right. Oh, I have a question for you. Here's a poll, but I'm not going to make an official poll. I want you to tell me, because I look at my wall of bobbins, I want you to tell me, how many bobbins do you have? So quickly count them up. How many bobbins do you have? I'm almost embarrassed to tell you how many I have. I have a lot, because who wants to change the color on the bobbin, right? And you don't want to stack. When I was a little girl, when I was learning how to sew, we probably had 4 or 5 bobbins, and those 5 bobbins, we would stack color after color after color. So if you wanted to get to the yellow on this one, you had to go deep down inside pulling thread off. I don't like to do that. I don't know what you do. Thank you, Linda. I'm so blessed. 2 highs. Well, hi to all of you. And Sheila, oh, thank you. Over 100. That makes me feel so much better. And Dottie said she has 3 dozens. Dozens, listen to me. Janet says, I have more than 100. Thank you. You are my people. I have a lot of bobbins. I have every color. And that's not even counting the embroidery bobbins, because I buy the pre-fills. So I have got tons and tons of pre-fills. I've got it. I like them. I like them. Oh, thank you, Linda. Oh, you guys are my people. I can do this. I can do this. Oh, I feel so much better now, because I look at my wall of bobbins, because I've got them up on the wall, the ones I sew with, the ones I embroider with, I've got them in fact, I'll show you what I've got them in. And this is not even all of them. Nope, that's my needles. I have my pre-wounds in a bin like this so that I can pick out the colors so I know what I've got. So I didn't even count these. I was only counting the ones that I wound myself. And then I have tubes more of these that I haven't opened yet. This is just my color assortment that I buy in pre-wounds. And I like them. You never can have too many bobbins. It's not, and different bobbins for different machines. Well, Betty, I am fortunate enough that I only have one kind of machine that I sew on. I just do a baby lock, so they all take the same bobbin. And I love my bobbins. What can I say? You got to have as many bobbins as you have spools of thread. And I am embarrassed to tell you how many spools of thread I have. I have a whole bunch. I can't even, yeah, I have a whole bunch, and I collect more because I think, oh, I like that thread, I like that one. And then not only do you have all those threads, you have it in different weights, that same color in all the different weights. And you got dazzle and razzle and sparkly, and you've got all those threads, because threads can make the project, and it's going to make our project today. You're going to find that out. Hey, Gayla, it's good to see you. What about the threads and the thread colors? Oh, I have them all. I have them all. Hi, Pat. Gayla, you need to say hi. You need to say something. It's the way it works. You know how it works. All right, so I'm going to go right into tell me. Hi, Barbara. Gayla says, tell me. Yep, tell me. Hello, Gayla. All right, so I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today. I'm going to go down to my cutting mat right now. Let me show you what we got right here. So I've just got 2 squares of fabric that are 6 by 6. Hey, Debbie Browning. I'm glad to see you. Okay, Debbie Barnett says, I just got power back on from a storm through Kansas City. Wow, that's crazy. I'm glad your power's back. No AC without it. So I've got 2 pieces of fabric that are 6 inches square, all right? And I have put batting in between, and I have used a little spray adhesive to adhere it on both sides. Not a lot, because you can see that it's not all glued down. There's no reason to have it completely glued down. I just don't want it to move. I also have me a piece of ribbon here, and it is about 13 inches long. And this is all we're going to need. But now I'm going to go to one of my favorite machines. You all know about this one because I talk about it all the time. Gayla says, tell me about her threads. I know about threads. You haven't seen my thread walls. Oh, I can only imagine, Gayla. Hi, Alice. Gayla has been in the business for many, many years. And I met Gayla, 15 years ago at Baby Lock Tech. And she's deep into this. Where do you find, Rosemarie wants to know, where do you find the white cutting mat from? I don't have a white cutting mat. So I don't know. I don't have a white cutting mat. Mine is, you'll see over here. If this looks white, this is blue. It's just got a lot of light on it. It's kind of washed out. So if you thought that was white, Rosemarie, I'm sorry. It is blue. I need to turn my light system down, I guess, a little bit. But I'm going to stick with this. All right. So right now, I'm going to do a wave stitch on my Baby Lock Triumph. Now, I talked about this last week, how you thread it up and how fun it is to thread it up. I'm going to show you how it's threaded. I'm not going to thread it for you today. But let me bring it over here, and I'm going to be moving the camera around, so it's going to make you a little bit sick. I just want you to see where I'm at. All right, so here's my needle. I only have, okay, let me talk about this first. Because remember, you have your thread guide right here. This is your quick reference threading guide. I'm going to be doing a 3-thread wave stitch. It's really one of the easier ones to do. But notice I have my O2 needle in. I have my length, my width, my B selector is on B, my wave is on wave. So one of the things you need to make sure, and when you put it on wave, you have to have it there to do a wave. When you are not doing the wave, you have to make sure that's down. In fact, I'm going to show you what happens when I switch over to a regular stitch in just a minute when I forget to put that on. All right, so I got my upper looper up, I got my blade up, I've got my knife cover on, and I got my subsidiary looper open. What is that? We'll talk about that in just a minute. But right now, I have got to do my thread path differently, and you will notice on here, because you're going to get it out, you're going to look close where the thread path is. Because normally you're just going to start threading it up and say, oh, I know how to thread this machine. But the wave stitch is different. All right, so here's my needle. Normally, I would take my needle up here and come into this one over here, or this one right here. This would be my O2 needle. It's not today. I've got my O2 needle over here. I'm still taking it down and going into my needle where it belongs, but it's over here. This changes the tension. Things that we don't have to worry about, but it changes the tension. All right, where's my upper looper going to go? Well, it's still back here where it's supposed to be. It's still going to come up here where it's supposed to be, but it's also moved over into my O2 thread path. So I've got my O2 over here. That's my needle. I've got my upper looper right here. This one is empty. There's nothing in that one. And this is my lower looper. More often than not, your lower looper is not going to change. It's most of the time just going to be right here because it needs to be right there. So don't worry too much about your lower looper, but your upper looper moved over. And that changes the tension on those threads, so it's going to create the wave stitch. And then I've also put this up in wave, telling my machine I want a wave stitch. All right, I am ready to go. And now, one thing I always want to do is that I always want to check my stitch before I ever go to my project. Let me tell you about that subsidiary looper. Remember we talked about this last week? That's right there. Now when I have that, this is open, it's back here, it's open. I'm going to pull it, move it to closed. I have something in my upper looper, so I don't want to leave it there because it will stop the thread from going through. But right there is where it's closed. When it's closed, I can't thread it, and now I've got it caught on my thread. I'm going to have to take some work there. All right, now it's open because I have thread in there. I want the thread in there. All right, so I'm all threaded up. I've got my length down here. This is my large knob. Remember, the length is the large knob. Because I'm doing a wave stitch and I want the stitches to be close together, I'm going to have it just off the one. But I'm also using heavy thread. I'm using 12 weight thread in my loopers. So I'm going to test it a few times. I'm going to make sure I know where it's at. And I may need to make it a little longer because I have a lot of thread. It's heavy thread, it's fat thread. I don't want to have it bunched up too much. So I've got it about 1.5, almost to the 2. And that's where I want it to be. And my width, I want this to be as wide as I can get it because I want that wave stitch to really be seen. If I had it tiny like this, it would just be a skinny little wave stitch. I don't want that. So this is my width knob. And when I turn it, it makes my blade go back and forth. Not only my blade, but my stitch finger back here will move back and forth. So that really tells me, gives me a clue that this is my width because I can see my blade move. This is the length. The large knob is your length. The little knob is your wee widow knob. Remember, that's your width. Your width is your wee widow knob. Okay, there you go. Length, width. Now I'm set up exactly where I want to be. I've got all my threads where did I mention too that when you are threading your looper, even though I'm coming down this thread path, I'm still going over to my looper. Normally that would be my needle. Right now it's going to be down into my looper. Okay? All right, so let's see what kind of a stitch we're going to have. See if we've got it all set up properly. All right, I'm going to have to turn it this way, so it's going to be, I hope that that's going to work for you guys. Let me move you over a little bit. All right, I got my foot down because if I don't have my foot down, this babe's not even going to sew a thing. All right, so that looks pretty good. That looks pretty darn good. All right, I want it to be a little further apart. I don't want it all bunched up because this is heavy thread. Okay, I want to show you what happens if I put it from wave stitch into overlock stitch. So I've moved this knob right up here. I'm going to show you. I moved this, oh, don't do that. That made me sick. Okay, wrong way, girl. All right, I touched the wrong knob. All right, so right here I have it in wave stitch. I'm going to put it down in overlock. Let's see what kind of a stitch and what happens to our stitch when we do that. All right, it's kind of trying to wave because it knows that I have changed the thread path of my looper and my needle, but it can't get a wave. Look at that. That's pretty bad. All right, I'm going to put it back up in wave, and we're going to do the wave stitch again. That was the thicker threads. If I do, I just use a thread cradle and I pull it through. I think we demoed that last week. I can do that again if you want. Annette says she has 28 bobbins. Ooh. All right, so if you need me to re-demo that, Linda, I can show you how that's done. All right, so now I have ugly right here. How can I show you how ugly that is? There, it's focused. See how ugly that is? That is not a wave stitch. It's trying. You can see it's trying, but this is what I want. I want that wave stitch. Okay, let's go back over. And I'm going to take this fabric that I have the batting in between. And this is just 80-20, just regular batting that I'm going to use on my quilts. All right, now, because it's pretty darn thick, I got 2 layers of fabric and I have batting in between. So the only way if you're going to have trouble with really thick things, if you're using the blade, you're going to be able to tell how thick your fabrics can be by how far up the blade goes. If it can't cut that fabric, then it might be a little hard to use it. But I'm going to put this right up to the needle because I'm asking it to do with thick threads, a different stitch. So I want to give it the best chance it can, and I've got my bamboo stiletto right here to help feed it through. And now I'm going to just, and yes, I'm cutting a little bit off. Doesn't matter, just a little bit. And I'm going to sew off. Now, yes, you can turn a corner with the wave stitch. It's not always really pretty because the wave, you don't know where in the wave you're at. So I usually, when I'm doing the wave stitch and I'm doing a heavy piece of fabric like this, I'm just going to sew on, sew off. So once again, here I go. And I use my bamboo stiletto because I would rather have my finger get cut by that blade, or my bamboo stiletto get cut. I said that wrong. Instead of my finger. And yes, I've cut my finger on it. And I'm just going to leave a tail. And I'm going to put that back under there. Not too far because I've got to cut my tail off with that blade. Now, why do you suppose I use a bamboo stiletto instead of a metal stiletto? Because I have a wonderful metal stiletto for my sewing, but I don't use it on my serger ever, ever. Because this blade right here, if you catch your metal stiletto on that blade, it's going to damage your blade. I don't want a damaged blade. But if my stiletto touches that blade, it just makes my stiletto a little shorter. That's all. Okay, I'm going to leave those kind of long right in there. And now let's go back over here. You can see this is what I've got. And I've got tails coming there, tails coming there, tails coming there. I'm good. Hi, Deborah. Looks like you just joined us or you just said something. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm kind of a lazy a corner person, but if I really want that to be nice, I'm going to put a little fray check right there. And I'm going to put a fray check right there on all the corners. I'm just going to put a little fray check. And I'm going to wait for that to dry before I trim my threads. Okay. This fray check is wonderful. If you're having something that you're going to be washing a lot, then fray check is maybe not the best idea. I would use super glue gel. And you can find it in a tube, and it just squeeze that on there. And that, just a little bit of it, you don't want to put too much because it'll make it kind of stiff. You just put a little bit on there just to get those threads and hang on to those threads. Because the super glue gel, you can wash it and dry it and do whatever, and it's not going to come out. Where the fray check, after a few washings, it's going to wash right out. You don't want that. Okay, I'm going to decide which do I want to have be my outside fabric. I've already decided because right here I told you to have this face up because I want to see this fabric. All right, because I want to see this fabric, I want to see my stitches. If I looked at this side, that's not so pretty, right? That's not the side I want to have out. So I'm going to have this one, and I'm going to bring two corners together, And if any of you do a grandma camp, I don't know if any of you do. It's a pretty cool thing to do. I know that a lot of people I have talked to do a grandma camp. And I have done somewhat of a grandma camp, as in I bring my kids together and we'll do crafts. I love to do crafts with my kids. All right, so right here, I have my outside fabric is inside there right now. I brought these 2 points together and I'm going to go to my sewing machine, not my serger this time, and I'm just going to stitch right down there. I could use my serger, but right now it's in the wave stitch and I kind of want to leave it there. So I'm going to slip over to my sewing machine that is not on camera, and I will be right back. And if you have any questions, please post them. This will just take me a minute. And my machine was so happy, it went to sleep. So I need to reboot her. Excuse me. And I'm just going to sew this one seam. Come on, girl, wake up. Yep, she's still waking. It's Monday morning, remember? Nobody should be awake. Except for you guys on the East Coast where it's noon, you should be awake. On the West Coast where Alice is, nah, you can still be in bed. Okay, she's almost ready. Come on, girl. Oh, I should have some music playing. I do not. Does anybody have a fun fact they want to share? I love fun facts. It's always some cute little information that you just didn't know. I had her ready this morning and she just decided to go back to sleep. Okay, now we're ready.
The carriage of the embroidery unit will move.
Okay. Like I say, I had her all ready this morning. And now she has to re-talk to me. All right, we'll get this thing sewed. And I'm going to knot it at the beginning and at the end. And I'm just going to sew this down. Before I turn it right side out, I'll come over and show you what I've done. Okay, I'm glad you're still with me. I took a little... Yes, Betty, hum the Jeopardy theme. That would be so good. All right, so because I have sewn these down, I'm going to just trim those threads right now and get them out of the way. I'm going to trim them because I really don't even need those. Okay, so I've got it like, I'm going to leave that one there until it dries. And now I'm going to turn it right side out. And we are going to end up with a little pocket. One sec, I'm going to get my poker. I have a couple of different pokers that I like to use. And it could be either one of them. My thumb is the best poker in the beginning. And I'm using this bone right now, but I have my wonderful, sometimes I get so vigorous with that one though, I poked it right through. Yes, it is possible. So no matter what you're poking through with, it is possible to poke a hole right in the bottom. Okay, that is what we're going to do. We're going to have a nice little pocket. Now in the directions, I talk about that you need a hanger. This hanger is important because you're going to hang it on their door. So when I talked about grandma camps, this is a great thing for you to be able to put a fun little treat or a note or something in for your grandkids or even your kids and hang it on their door. And for your kids, you could even put their initial on there. You could embroider their initial so that that's always there. And this could stay permanently if you're in the home with them all the time. just hang it permanently right on their door. And then even their brothers and sisters could put a sweet little note in there. Don't you think that would be fun? And so right now, and I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna just tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna stitch that down with my sewing machine. And there you have it. You have a cute little pocket that you can put treats on and hang it on their doorknob. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't you like to come out of your bedroom and see a cute little treat hanging on your door? I think that would be great. You could even put one on your door and then they can send you notes. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, any other comments, questions, or concerns on anything? What you got going on? Talk to me. Hey, Sarah. All right, if you are watching, do me a favor. If you haven't said anything yet, make a comment. If you watch this later, make a comment. Then I know you've been here. And Gloria says she loves this. Thank you. Thank you so much. I like it too. I think every kid, I mean, kind of like what we said on that fun fact this morning, we're not a product of our mistakes. We kind of are because we learn from them, but we want to be better than our mistakes. And we're not labeled by, our life is not defined by the mistakes we made. Our life is defined by how we change when we make mistakes, right? We can become better. And that's the way it should be. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, thank you, Janet. Okay, I am going to post this pattern that you'll be able to see in a few minutes. And I'm also going to repost that little fun fact and that little thing that I shared with you earlier today. All right, we've been together for a half hour, friends. I love it. I love being here. I love sharing my day with you, and especially Mondays. It makes my Mondays so much better. I hope they make your day better. All right, everybody. Debbie says, beautiful, quick project. Thanks for sharing. Yes, they are all projects on the 10s. That means it's, in fact, when I decided to call it this 4 years ago, I came up with this idea, and my son that was helping me with all of my setup, my cameras and everything, and he thank you, Kathy. She says she loves it. And I says, well, I'm going to do a project on the 10s. And he says, what is that? Well, of course he doesn't sew. And he said, project on the 10s? And I said, well, yeah, I do it on the 10th, the 20th, and 30th. That 3 times a month. It's going to be a project on the 10s at 10 o'clock, and it'll take 10 minutes. Isn't that great? And he says, oh, you women. But that's okay. I like it. I like it. Do you want to hear another you women joke? I think I can share this. I think I can share this. Hi, Susan. She says, I came in late. I'll have to watch the replay. Thank you. Thanks for coming, Susan. All right, here's a joke. I almost hesitate because I don't know how sensitive it is. So I was teaching a class once, and one of the ladies in the class said that we were making monthly banners, you know, like you'd make one each month and you'd hang them up, and you'd hang a different one up the next month. And her grandson came in and was watching her do these, and he knew that she was making them a new one for each month. And he says, oh, you women and your monthly things. I thought, yep, okay, if that brings a smile, okay. I apologize if it offends you, but I thought it was kind of funny. All right, Gloria thought it was okay. Thank you. Someone else laughed. I saw a laugh bubble go up. Just one though. Nobody else. Okay, if I've offended you, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to do that. Oh, there's another laugh bubble. Okay, 2 of you laughed. That's okay. 2 of you laughed. All right, so go make your pockets and fill it full of good stuff and hang it on somebody's door today. You know, what if you did that for your neighbor? What if you, oh, I'm getting more laughings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm such a dork. Was it dork? National Dork Day was last week. Well, I'm going to carry out through the year. I'm not going to stop there. Debbie is laughing. Gayla is laughing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, what if you made some of these and put them on your neighbor's door, and they don't have to know who you are. Just put some treats in it, write a really nice note and tell them what a good neighbor they are, how much you really like to be close to them or whatever. and put it on their door, and they don't even have to know who it came from. You're just spreading joy. And you know what? When you spread joy, it'll come back to you. That's karma. That's how it works. All right, you guys are spreading me joy today. It reminds me of the May baskets we made as kids. Oh, Diana, that is a great idea. Yeah, we made them out of paper, right? Well, this one's out of cloth. You can do it out of paper, I suppose, if you want to. All right, I am going to sign off and go fill this up and put it somewhere. I like the idea. Debbie says it would be nice for May Day flowers. Great idea. Great idea. Great idea. It's not May, though. It's July. That's okay. We can put July flowers in it. Or if you're growing a garden, you'd have to make it bigger, but you could put a zucchini on it in it and give it to everybody, right? I love zucchini, but they grow a lot. Linda says, I'm terrible. I would never eat candy that was left anonymously at my door. Would you eat it if it was still in the package? Like a whole package of Kit Kats, like still sealed, would you eat it then? And maybe you could sign your name to it, and then maybe it doesn't have to be anonymous. I don't know. Debbie says, have a blessed day, everyone. Debbie, you have a blessed day. Everybody, have a blessed day. Hi, Teresa. It's been way too long. I haven't seen you or heard from you. Well, we did talk, didn't we? All right, I'm going to sign off, and we're going to go finish making our baskets. All right, bye-bye, everybody.